The NFL draft from Green Bay, Wisconsin is just 18 days away as we turn our attention to the quarterbacks at the top. And to do that, we say good morning to none other than Jeremy Fowler is joining us for everything we need to know about the top of the draft. And so, as I mentioned, NFL draft 18 days away. And our draft analyst, Matt Miller, told us yesterday that he does not have a first-round grade on Cam Ward. I can't believe that. Yet everyone thinks the Titans are going to draft him #1 overall. And so, what do you make of that, Jeremy?
Well, the Tennessee Titans desperately need a quarterback. They do like Cam Ward a lot, not only from his upside perspective on the field, his arm strength, his movability, his durability. They believe that off the field, he is a fierce competitor. They feel like he's a really good person. In their interviews with him and their private workouts with him, their exchanges with him have been really good. So everything is positive. That said, I do not sense that the Titans have made a firm determination yet. They know players like pass rusher Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter out of Colorado are those possibly generational type players. That term generational you throw around. So they've been looking around, but they did cancel their private workout with Shedeur Sanders, which tells a lot about how they feel from a quarterback perspective and how the rest of the league feels. That it's Cam Ward as QB1, then a pretty big gap, then the rest of the field. Okay, well, let's continue with the pretty big gap, because then sitting at #2 are the Browns. Who do you think's catching their attention with #2? Well, the Browns have been very mysterious throughout this entire process. I do believe GM Andrew Berry is liking that, that sort of mystery here around the Browns and what they could do, because they've looked at a bevy of options. So I do know this. They've spent a lot of time with Abdul Carter, the pass rusher out of Penn State. They've gotten to know him very well. He has definitely felt the love from the Browns at every level of the organization, getting to know a lot of those people. So I do believe he's in strong consideration. There also is some buzz of late about Travis Hunter and that dynamic with him being so good and showing himself as a receiver at his pro day. The Browns are one of the teams that look at him as a wide receiver. So those two players are under consideration. They're on the short list, as is Shedeur Sanders, I'm told. They are still considering him, even though there isn't a lot of momentum for him to go #2 overall right now, at least talking to people around the league. Okay, so the Browns are literally all over the place. Defense, quarterback, and a two-way player. Speaking of that two-way player and Travis Hunter, Giants go #3. What's the word on Travis Hunter possibly landing there with New York? Well, talking to people that were at Colorado's Pro Day on Friday, they believe that the Giants will either go Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, whichever one is available. They have been linked to Shedeur Sanders as well. They need the quarterback. So those appear to be their options right now, but they look comfortable taking the best player available at #3. All right, good news. Thank you, Jeremy. All 3 days of the draft are on ESPN Network starting April 24th. See you later, buddy.
Cornette, Amina Smith back here with you on SportsCenter, and we are 18 days away from the NFL draft that'll take place at Lambeau Field. Let's bring in our NFL draft analyst, Jordan Reed, right now to read and react. So, Jordan, it looks like Cam Ward is going to be the top QB taken. However, after that, things could get interesting. It starts with Shedeur Sanders. What are you seeing in his evaluation?
Yeah, it does. He seems to be the favorite to be the second quarterback off of the board. But one trait that really stands out about him is just the poise and accuracy that he plays with. He had a 74% completion percentage a season ago. He has excellent ball placement. He's very polished, and you cannot question his toughness at all. Scouts that I talked to say that the Browns or the Giants at #2 and #3 overall could take him, but also a more realistic spot could be Atlanta or Denver as possible trade-up spots in order to get him. Now, as far as the weaknesses with Shedeur, things that we want to see him work on, is just the pocket drifting with him. He has a reluctance to really invite pressure, and that's what led to 94 sacks over the past 2 seasons, the second most in the FBS over that span. So I want to see him work on that and don't invite so much pressure. If he does continue to improve in that area, I believe he has upside to be a starter on the next level.
All right, now let's read and react to Jackson Dart. What are the highs and lows when it comes to his game?
Yeah, the one thing scouts keep talking about with him is just the downfield accuracy and ball placement with him. That's something that really stands out about him, but also just the wide open offense that they were in, 11.1 air yards per target a season ago. So the downfield accuracy is something that really stands out about him. He's very consistent when asked to throw the ball down the field in that Lane Kiffin oriented offense that is very open and very quarterback friendly as well. Now, on the opposite side of that, progression-based reads is something that he wasn't asked to do consistently in Lane Kiffin's offense. 34% of his passes were labeled as wide open a season ago, and he only had 8 snaps from under center. So being in a more pro-oriented offense will be a bit of an adjustment period for Jackson Dart, but he could go as high as the Saints at number 9. Overall, they had a heavy contingent at his pro day a week ago, but scouts that I talked to say a more realistic range for him is probably the back end of the first round.
All right, let's move on to Jalen Milroe, an interesting prospect at the pro level. Let's start with the positive, though. What could translate for him to the NFL level?
Yeah, Jalen Milroe definitely is a hot name in league circles right now. And the one thing that scouts keep coming back to with him is just his eye-popping athleticism. He's going to enter a very distinct group his very first year in the NFL. And those are names that include Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, and also Justin Fields. Go back to that LSU game. He was absolutely terrific in that one. But on the opposite side, he still needs to improve in the short to intermediate areas of his passing game. You can go back to the Tennessee game and then also the Oklahoma games. Those are the two games of where scouts keep coming back to and said that he still needs some refinement as a passer. But as far as some landing spots for Milroe, the Saints is one that's been repeatedly talked about with him, and then also the Steelers as well. So look for him to go in the second or the third round. There is plenty of interest for Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to this year's NFL draft. That will go down April 24th right here on ESPN. Jordan, thanks so much. All right, we're 21 days away from the NFL draft. This year's taking place at Lambeau Field. Here's a look at Phil Yates' mock draft 4.0 that just got released yesterday. Cam Ward remains the presumptive #1 pick to the Titans, who have not indicated a serious desire to move down in the draft. The Browns will probably go with Abdul Carter, who's considered the best defensive player in the draft, with the 2nd pick in Yates' mock. And Colorado, that pair follows. Yates projects Shedeur Sanders 3rd to the Giants, who also brought in Russell Wilson, but have yet to solidify their long-term quarterback plans. And he has Patriots taking the Swiss Army knife and Heisman winner Travis Hunter. Yates says Hunter can change dimensions of the offense alongside Stephon Diggs. And as I mentioned, the Titans with the #1 pick. We will hear from Teron Davenport in a few. However, having a little bit of technical difficulty. Let's start with the Browns. They're next on the clock behind the Titans. Let's bring in our Browns reporter, Daniel Oyefusi. And Daniel, barring a trade, Cleveland will have his choice of either of the top QBs or top defensive players in at #2. Daniel, what are you hearing about what the Browns will do with that #2 pick?
Yeah, the Browns have spent extensive time evaluating the top of this year's quarterback class. They had a private workout with Cam Ward last week. They're sending a group out to Colorado to meet with Shedeur Sanders for his pro day. But in talking to members of the organization at league meetings this week, they were consistent that they are not going to force a quarterback pick at 2, and they're not married to taking a quarterback at 2. They've also spent time with top prospects such as Penn State's Abdul Carter. They're expected to meet with Travis Hunter while they're out in Colorado. And owner Jimmy Haslam went so far as to say, quote, "If the right person is there, we're going to take them. If not, we'll figure it out for a year or 2 until we get that right person. We need good players. There's good players in this draft, and we need to make sure we get the right guys for us."
Yeah, very interesting to hear Jimmy Haslam also say that they made the wrong decision with Deshaun Watson as well. Daniel, appreciate the time and the insight. Thank you.
All right, let's head east to New York, who owns the #3 pick, and bring in Giants reporter Jordan Renan. So, okay, Jordan, despite signing Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, New York has long been projected to take Shedeur Sanders. So what can you share about how they view the Colorado quarterback?
Yeah, it's actually very similar to what Daniel said there about the Browns. The Giants have done extensive work on Shedeur Sanders, right? They scouted him in multiple games this year. Brian Dable, the head coach, he went down to the Shrine game to speak and talk to Shedeur Sanders as well. But it's about opportunity cost. The Giants are not going to force a quarterback pick. They said the value has to match the pick here in this case. And then when you talk to people around the league, there is some concern of whether Shedeur Sanders' ceiling of what it is, considering he doesn't have that elite physical trait. I spoke to one executive whose team is in the quarterback hunt, and he told me, aside from Cam Ward, he doesn't feel comfortable with any of the other quarterbacks in the first round of this draft. Now, the Giants are still going throughout their process, their evaluation process. There'll be a large contingent in Colorado this week, including general manager Joe Schoen, so they'll get another look at Shedeur Sanders. They'll also get a look at Travis Hunter. That's a name that I think will be clearly in the mix for the Giants at pick #3 if they decide not to go with quarterback. If they don't go with quarterback in the first round, it doesn't mean they're out of the quarterback picture completely. Moving back into the back end of the first round is still in consideration, perhaps a day 2 pick. I heard the Giants have done a lot of work recently as well on quarterback Jackson Dart. They had a large contingent at his pro day recently, and they've done a lot of background work on players such as Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, Jalen Milroe. So I think quarterback, even if the Giants don't think it's worth the value at pick number 3, it's still something to keep an eye on later in round 1 or on day 2.
Okay, so you mentioned if they don't go with a quarterback at pick number 3, do you have any other insight what they possibly might do if they decide not to go with quarterback?
Yeah, Travis Hunter, I think, is the name. Now, Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are pretty much considered the top 2 non-quarterbacks in this draft. So Travis Hunter, I'm assuming Abdul Carter goes number 2 in this scenario to the Cleveland Browns. I think that's what Field Yates said. Then you're looking at number 3, the Giants sitting there and looking at, if they don't think that the quarterback is worth it, Travis Hunter, a player that they said they're evaluating as both a cornerback and a wide receiver in this draft. There he has double value for them, 2 positions of need. I think that would make a lot of sense for the Giants. And look, they're going to the pro day tomorrow. Just so happens, guess who's there? Shedeur Sanders, who they get a chance to look at, and Travis Hunter. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 right there.
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. A busy few weeks ahead for New York. Jordan, thank you so much.
Up in Foxborough, the Patriots have the next pick at number 4. And who better to have than our Mike Reese? With the latest from New England, unlike the first 3 teams in the draft, the Patriots have their QB and Drake May. However, there are so many other needs that they have to address. What's New England's approach to that number 4 pick?
Coach Mike Vrabel said this week that they're open to anything, and that could include trading down from the number 4 pick. Here's a direct quote from Vrabel. "I think we're willing to listen." But at the same time, Vrabel has made it clear the Patriots need to come out of this draft with what he called a premium player. A couple premium players they're taking a closer look at. And those needs that you mentioned, offensive tackle, Will Campbell of LSU. They had him here at the facility in Foxborough, Massachusetts for a pre-draft visit. And defensive tackle, Mason Graham of Michigan. They're scheduled to have him here to the facility for a pre-draft visit. Some of the themes around the Patriots under this new coaching staff led by Mike Vrabel, they want to add team speed, and defensively, they want a more aggressive, upfield attacking type of approach.
Yeah, it feels like a laundry list of needs that the Patriots have, especially to protect their quarterback in Drake May. Mike, always appreciate your time.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate you for making it this far. You have reached your sports moment or your sports minute. I am your host, S. Dot. And what we do here is we talk about things in the sports world. Specifically, today's topic is the Titans locked Cam Ward, which they really want, and the Browns are thinking about drafting Shedeur Sanders, and also Travis Hunter going to the Giants. Before we get into it, guys, don't forget to hit that like. Specifically, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications on a daily basis, because we do post 2 or 3 videos a day. And most of all, don't forget to let your voice be heard. Please leave a comment. All right, getting into it. So first of all, what we got is we got the Titans who are looking to lock Cam Ward. I think that's a good fit for the Titans. Where my Titan fans at? Let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Cam Ward going to the Titans seems like a pretty good fit. They do need a quarterback. They got a couple of other pieces that they could probably fill in, which they need to fill in, in the receiving field. But Cam Ward should be a good fit there. I don't want Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter to go to the Browns. It looks like the Browns are trying to draft Shedeur Sanders. I don't want that. I don't think Shedeur wants that, for the simple fact that every player that has come out of the draft that has went to the Browns has had to struggle. Look how much money they gave to Miles. They gave Miles one of the biggest contracts of his life, just because they didn't want us, the Philadelphia Eagles, to give him an opportunity to win a championship. They were jealous. They figured, hey, we may not have a quarterback. We may not have an offensive line. We may not have a defensive support. But as long as we got Miles Sanders, because we are the kid on the block, and these are the Browns talking. We're the kid on the block who don't want the opposition to have the talent that we have to make them better so that they can win another championship. Now, what does that sound like? That sounds like a jealous team. I mean, Miles was talking about, hey, money wasn't a thing. I'm ready to win championships. But hey, I'm a man. He's a man. He's a person who wants money like anybody else. And when those dollars start rising, they start talking over any championship you could ever put in front of anybody's face. You feel me? I mean, come on, man. Imagine if Miles Sanders would have came to the Philadelphia Eagles, my squad. Imagine if Miles Sanders would have been in that defensive room with the rest of that young talent. Man, you would not be able to stop us for the next 5 years. I mean, right now you still can't stop us for the next 5 years, but that would have been solidified in gold. Forget stone. You feel me? But dollars talk, bullshit walks. And the Browns, they felt like, hey, Miles Sanders is one person. And one person is all we need to build around that one person. Well, I'm here to tell you, the Cleveland Browns, y'all need a quarterback. Y'all need an O-line. Y'all need receivers. Y'all need cornerbacks. Y'all need the whole thing. Miles Sanders is one player. And to pay him all that money, just lock y'all in a position where y'all ain't going to be able to give more money to other talent to come in and help y'all, to help Miles Sanders. But that's another subject. Moving on. Now, I don't want the Browns to draft Shedeur Sanders. The Sanders name is a level of talent that we all know where it comes from. Dion. Dion has proven that he could ball out. He has proven that he could play in the NFL and the MLB at the same damn time. In the World Series and a Super Bowl at the same damn time. If I'm wrong, guys, hit the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this. Tell me what y'all think about this, man. Should Shedeur Sanders go to the Browns? Will that make the Browns elevate? Or will that just kill Shedeur Sanders' career? I mean, anybody who go to the Browns, man, they have to. They're the everything when they go to the Browns. The Browns is the worst team in the league every single year. And right behind them is the Jets. I mean, I don't want him to go there because I feel like it's gonna kill his talent. I feel like he has no support. I feel like he has nothing to back him up to help him elevate. But let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Now, Cam Ward going to the Titans. That's a good look. That's a good pick. That's a team that can elevate with Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a generational talent. I mean, he comes in, plays the quarterback position, gives them some kind of hype, you know what I'm saying, with the surrounding talent that they have. And I think they could do big things, man. Let me know what y'all, how y'all feel in the comments, Titan fans. Do y'all want Cam Ward as y'all leader, or would y'all prefer someone different? Now, Travis Hunter going to the Giants. That's a key piece. They already signed, um, um, they already signed Russell Wilson. They already signed Jameis Winston. And then for them to pick up Travis Hunter is a good look. I don't think they need to draft a quarterback out of the draft. For the Giants to draft a quarterback out of the draft will mean that somebody is going to sit the bench. More than likely, it's going to be the rookie. I mean, the veterans, excuse me, the veterans, they have been there for a while. They've been in the game for a minute. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, they've done it. They've seen it. They've ran it. But whoever they draft, they're going to sit the bench. But there's some strong talent coming out of the draft this year. And I don't think they need to sit the bench if they do pick someone like Cam Ward, they do pick somebody like Shedeur Sanders. I think Travis Hunter is a good look. You know what I mean? A good piece for them to throw to because I think that'll elevate the Giants. Now they will not, and you can quote me on this, they will not beat us this year in being the Philadelphia Eagles. But that will elevate their talent against opposing teams. I mean, hey, where my Philly fans at? Let me know how y'all feel about this, man. Y'all know we going back to the Super Bowl this year. And if y'all feel the same way y'all feel, leave a comment. Let me know where y'all at. Philly fans, rise up. Let me know what y'all feel about the whole situation in the NFC East. You know, do y'all feel like we gonna be on top again? Y'all feel like we going back to the Super Bowl? Because I do. I don't doubt my squad. I mean, hey, I know talent. I know Howie Roseman put in that work before the season was even over, before the Super Bowl was even over. He was already putting in work, picking up talent out of the, you know what I'm saying, out of the free agency, knowing who he's gonna pick, out of the draft. I mean, hey, let me hear you. Let me hear my Philly fans in the comments, man. Let me know y'all here. Philly, rise up. I appreciate y'all making it this far. Appreciate y'all making it to your sports moment. I'm your host S. Dot. Go ahead, leave a like. Don't forget to leave that subscribe so we can notify y'all of you know what I'm saying, new videos that we post. And most of all, let your voice be heard. Leave a comment. Alright? We gonna catch y'all in the next video. Alright? Peace.